Hello, everybody. Facebook, Instagram. We turned the Instagram camera around, so I can't see you on Instagram anymore. But Facebook, YouTube, welcome. Definitely. If you're watching this live, give me a hashtag live. Watching a replay, hashtag replay. We are talking about the real estate bubble. And if you do any searches on YouTube or anything like that, you type in real estate and you're going to see all kinds of stuff about real estate crash and it's coming and Q4 of 2021 or Q1 of 2020. They just kind of continue to move the narrative back as to when this so-called crash or bubble may burst. And I'm here to tell you that there really isn't a bubble. And the numbers dictate that. Obviously, we have continued crazy demand in our market today. And as the weeks and days go on, we continue to hear about multiple offers and so many people out looking for houses and buyers, not being able to find a home. I just saw a meme today that said, I've submitted my highest and best 16 times and I still don't have a house. And all that stuff is real, and it plays a part in all of this. So a few numbers I'll throw at you. In March 2008, which is, when we did have a true real estate bubble, we had 26,000 homes for sale in Denver. Today, this morning, I looked it up, and in our entire MLS, there's 3,638 homes for sale. So that's the first reason that we are not 2008. We are not there as 2008 because there were so many homes for sale in 2008 that once things started getting rough for some people, the buyers kind of went away, and that we had an overabundance of supply. And basic laws of economics: supply is high, demand is low. That's not good. When supply is low and demand is high, it's also not great if you're trying to find a house. But ultimately, that drives prices up as people are willing to pay more because the demand is so great. So we talk about this forbearance, and we have the CARES Act and all of this stuff that's going on in our world today that you may hear about. You may hear these key phrases: CARES Act, forbearance, and basically what forbearance and what the CARES Act said was that basically anybody and everybody didn't have to qualify, didn't have to have any extenuating circumstances, could take forbearance and basically take time off of paying their mortgage. And so we talked about that a lot, March, April 2020, more than a year ago, talking about, only use this if you need it and if you have those qualifying things, because it's going to be hard to get out of it. And traditionally, forbearance, like if you were in forbearance, it was going the wrong way prior to the COVID CARES Act stuff. If you had to miss mortgage payments, you had major credit hits, you had, all kinds of stuff. And then the lender could call the loan due at certain points. And the lender basically had free reign to, give you the option to how you're going to cure, your behindness per se. So as the CARES Act, continued, and then we, moved on, then the government steps in and says, okay, lending companies, it's in your best interest to work with these people. We can't have balloon payments. We can't make this all blow up. So they're, given all kinds of options. If you're in forbearance, they're going to say, okay, you have XYZ to options. You can, extend your loan term, or you can add it on to the end of your loan, or you can, do whatever. And you're still going to have to pay those payments that, you forbeared upon, but they're working with people as we go. And so as that continues, today we have 4% of homes in forbearance, which, sounds like a lot. There's 1.4 million homes in the Denver area. There is, first off, there's 37% of those homes are owned free and clear. So they are not considered in this issue. So you take 4% of, you take 37% basically of 1.4 off the table, and you have 882,000 homes in the metro area. Of those, 35,280, which is 4% of that number, are in the forbearance situation still. More and more as we move along, it started out 7-8%, and now we're down to 4 as we kind of get past the COVID stuff and open up. There's less and less people in forbearance. People are getting with their mortgage companies and making things right. And after that, we still have 35,280 homes approximately in forbearance. And what that means is absolutely that's a number that if every single one of those homes foreclosed, we could see some sort of market correction, as that would definitely get us to, enough inventory. However, the true fact is that not all of those people that are in that forbearance situation some of them aren't even behind on payments. So that they just, called about forbearance because early on they're putting them in it. Some people might not even know they're in it. They're just continuing to pay their bills. And some people are truly in need of it and hopefully getting back to work. And as they do that, and as, the Forbearance CARES Act, like this is our end, comes up, then we will definitely see, some people that are going to have to move on from their homes. Now, there's a huge difference in foreclosures and distressed properties. Of that 35,000, I would say at least half don't even need it. They're just in forbearance for one reason or another. They're going to get everything perfect. They'll stay in their homes. Everything will be fine. Of the, say we take half of that, and there's some people that, consider options. And, I would say not very many of those people, maybe 5,000 to 10,000 homes, are truly looking at something that could, have to actually move towards foreclosure. As we've talked about on other videos, if you foreclose in this market, you're not doing something right, because we have very few homes with less than 10% equity. I had a client just recently who bought a home, and I think it was 1 year ago to the day when we sold it. She bought a home a year ago in Denver. She decided she wanted to move back closer to family in Grand Junction. She got relocated out there. She came to me and she said, "Hey, I want to sell my house." And I was like, "Okay, this is kind of what it's looking like it's worth. It's worth this much." And she had 100% loan to value because she got some down payment assistance when she purchased it. And so, she paid her payments and did all that, but it was still tight. We bought it for, I think, $280. I told her, I said, "I think we can get $305 for it, hopefully." Turns out we put it on the market and got it bid up, and she walked away with, $30,000 of equity. And that is probably the worst situation when I have people call me from, less than a year ago, definitely got down payment assistance. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, I got to move. I want to sell." I'm like, "Well, you might want to look at renting." But with this market and appreciation, she capitalized and was able to not only sell her home, but walk away with a decent amount of money, $30,000, that she didn't have a year ago to put down on her next home. And everything's good. And obviously she'll have some tax things on that. But what I'm telling you is this person had more than 100% down, owed, because, they give you a credit and it's a little bit more, they cover closing costs and blah, blah, blah. But in March of 2020, she had more than 100% loan to value. In March of 2021, she walked away with, paid all that off, obviously closed all the down payment assistance stuff, obviously paid off her mortgage that she had, and she still walked away with $30,000, paid 2 realtors, the buyer's agent and myself, and, move forward. So if that situation can turn profitable in our market, then what I'm saying is there is absolutely no reason why we can't sell your home. If you are, in forbearance, if you're that small percentage that actually is in trouble, maybe had some work lossage, whatever that is, please, please, please don't just succumb to the bank and give it to them, because regardless of what type of situation you're in, we can probably sell your home and use your equity. At least you get to keep that equity instead of it going to the bank. So with that said, in the Denver market, we have 2.5% of homes have less than 10% equity. So that's a very small number for sure. And of those homes, those are the people that definitely, if they're in a forbearance and they're not able to get, work something out, and they're not able to pay their payments as the CARES Act and as forbearance goes away and it's not just, everybody can do it. That's a huge portion of where we're at today. Is we just need to really make sure that we understand the equity position that we are all in and lucky to be in as a part of, obviously, this market and the Denver metro area. Now, harder hit COVID areas absolutely may see some sort of a correction. Areas that haven't seen as much appreciation definitely will see that. The report that came out yesterday, nationwide appreciations at like 12% year over year, which is a crazy number if you really think about it. And Denver actually came in a little bit lower, 11 point something, 75 or something in that. So we're in an appreciation power game here. The national average is like 3% a year, 4% a year, and we're seeing 12% nationwide, which is absolutely crazy. So I get it that prices are going up, but it's not artificial. It's not artificially going up, as people say, because the demand is there and market value is what a buyer is willing to buy and a seller is willing to sell for. So don't buy into the hype. Don't buy into the doomsday. This is 2008. The crash is coming, because the numbers just don't allow for that. And if you have any questions, you want me to run through these numbers on paper with you, I would love to. I just don't want to sit here with a bunch of statistics and blow your mind. But absolutely, that's the thing. As we talk about bubbles, we'll drop into the Why Invest Wednesday sports report here. It's draft week. The Rockies fired their GM, so that's cool. After he traded, the best player in franchise history. But the NFL draft, I think it's crazy. I'm a Ohio State fan, as most of you know. And Justin Fields, our quarterback, is, just recently came out and said he, was battling with epilepsy and it's under control and all this stuff. But I've seen that guy be ranked from number 2, going to the Jets, all the way to number 20 or 32 yesterday. I saw it, to the Buccaneers. So the Broncos at 9, if he's available, that's who I would like him to go with. He's a competitor. He's a good leader. He's a good dude. But we'll see how that plays out, as I usually am wrong and usually upset with what they do. But now that we got a new GM, also the Broncos got a new GM. Elway's not doing it anymore. Hopefully we get the hometown Ohio State boy in orange blue, and then I get another autographed jersey for my basement. That's my ultimate goal, actually. And then I just hope he's really good. So we could see cornerbacks. That's a prime pick, but we really bolstered that in the offseason. So if we don't go quarterback, I'm guessing we either go defensive line or offensive line, even though our offensive line is super strong. So we'll see tomorrow night. Broncos draft number 9. I hope they don't trade back, because that bugs me and it's annoying. But we'll see how that goes. But ultimately, Justin Fields is your bubble guy, since we're talking about real estate market bubbles and NFL draft bubbles. So I hope you guys are doing well. Got some big news coming up next week. We'll talk to you about it then. Reach out if you have any questions. If you're so consumed by the YouTubers, doomsday real estate bubble market crash, I would love to talk to you and run some numbers and help you with that. And as always, if you are in any kind of trouble and you're not able to make your payments, reach out to me. I want to save all that money that you've gained in equity and put it in your pocket as opposed to someone else's. So that's my promise to you, is I will work as hard as I can to make sure your house doesn't get foreclosed on. And I can almost guarantee you that we can make it work. So hope you guys have a great Wednesday. As you know, it's the Salty Sisters night to do some crafts. So if you want one of these sweet signs behind me, just hit them up, comment below. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.